A man works as an automobile recall specialist, but his life has become dull and stressful. He's tired of the monotony of his job and spends his free time flipping through furniture catalogs or buying random things to feel better. But nothing truly satisfies him. On top of work stress, he struggles with jet lag because of frequent business trips. The pressure has left him sleepless for 6 months. When he tells his doctor, the response is dismissive. No one has ever died from insomnia. The man insists he's in pain and asks for medication, but the doctor refuses, saying he just needs natural sleep. To teach him about real suffering, the doctor suggests he visit a support group for people with testicular cancer. Out of desperation, the man attends a meeting. There, he listens to heartbreaking stories and meets Bob, a former bodybuilder who suffered a condition that caused hormonal imbalances. Bob opens up about his struggles with steroids, divorce, and bankruptcy. At the end of the meeting, Bob hugs him tightly and says, "It's okay to cry." For the first time in a long while, the man breaks down and lets his emotions out. That night, he finally gets a good night's sleep. Relieved, the man starts attending more support groups, even though he's completely healthy. After each session, he feels refreshed and calm. But this peace is disrupted when he notices a woman named Marla Singer attending the same groups. Marla's presence annoys him because, like him, she's pretending to be sick. Her lies make it hard for him to connect with his emotions, and he starts losing sleep again. One night, he confronts Marla and threatens to expose her. She fires back, saying she'll reveal his lies too. They agree to split the groups between them, exchanging numbers in case they need to coordinate. Marla notices he hasn't written his real name on the card, but before she can say anything, he disappears into the crowd. Despite the meetings, the man's job stress continues. During one flight, he meets Tyler Durden, a quirky soap salesman who catches his attention with a bizarre theory about oxygen masks. Tyler claims the masks aren't for safety, but to sedate passengers during emergencies, so they calmly accept their fate. Intrigued, the man finds Tyler fascinating. After the flight, he learns his briefcase has been confiscated due to a suspicious item. Things get worse when he arrives home to find his apartment destroyed in a fire. With nowhere else to go, he calls Tyler and they meet at a bar. Over drinks, the man vents about losing all his possessions. Tyler advises him to let go of material things because they end up controlling people. After their conversation, Tyler invites him to stay at his house, but only if he agrees to punch Tyler as hard as he can. Hesitant, the man hits him and Tyler punches back. Despite the pain, the man feels strangely alive. They continue fighting, and this unusual bond leads them to start a tradition. Over time, other men join in, and their fights grow into an underground movement called Fight Club. Tyler sets strict rules. The first rule of Fight Club is you don't talk about Fight Club, but members constantly break this rule, inviting more men to join. Every week, Tyler enthusiastically recites the rules, and the club grows rapidly. One day, the man gets a call from Marla, who asks why he hasn't been coming to the support group meetings for weeks. He casually tells her that he's found a new group that only allows men. Marla responds, mentioning she just took an entire bottle of Xanax, but insists it wasn't a suicide attempt. As Marla rambles on, her voice irritates him, so he puts the phone down without hanging up. Later, the man dreams of Marla being intimate with someone, but when he sees her wandering in the kitchen, he realizes it wasn't a dream. Confused, he asks why she's in his house. Marla gets angry and storms out. Tyler then enters the kitchen and reveals that he had answered Marla's call earlier. Concerned about her overdose, he decided to visit her. Not only did he stop her from taking more pills, but he also brought her back to the house and ended up being intimate with her. Tyler tells the man not to mention him to Marla, but refuses to explain why. Marla's regular visits to see Tyler only frustrate the man further. One morning, he gets a call from the police, who inform him that his apartment fire was caused by homemade dynamite. That night, Tyler takes him to a medical waste facility to steal discarded fat, which they use to make soap. At home, Tyler explains how soap ingredients can be turned into explosives. To prove his point, he pours lye on the man's hand. As the skin burns, the man tries to meditate through the pain, but Tyler insists he face it head on. Tyler tells him to stop living in denial and accept that death is inevitable. Finally, he neutralizes the burn with vinegar, leaving the man with a scar, a permanent reminder of his lesson. At work, the man's manager confronts him about finding a copy of Fight Club's rules left on the office copier. The man threatens his boss, implying he might return to the office armed. Their tense conversation is interrupted by a call from Marla, who asks for help checking a lump she's worried about. After visiting her apartment, he wonders why she reached out to him instead of Tyler. Later, the man meets Bob, who reveals that he has stopped attending support groups because he's joined something new, though Bob won't name it. The man immediately recognizes the signs of Fight Club and admits he's also a member. When they meet in the club, Bob unexpectedly overpowers him in a fight, leaving the man stunned. Fight Club soon faces a challenge when Lou, the bar owner, discovers its existence. During a meeting, Lou and his bodyguard burst into the basement, demanding they leave. Lou beats Tyler up, but Tyler laughs through the pain. Finally, Tyler tackles Lou and spits blood all over him, forcing Lou to let them stay. With Lou's approval, Tyler begins giving club members strange assignments, like picking fights with strangers and losing on purpose. Meanwhile, the man confronts his boss again, threatening to expose the company's corruption unless he's paid to stay silent. When the boss fires him, the man starts punching himself in front of his boss, recreating the same chaotic energy of his first fight with Tyler. Shocked, the boss agrees to give him a regular paycheck to make him leave the office forever. Using his newfound funds, the man helps Fight Club expand. Soon, there are chapters in cities across the country. Tyler pushes the group further, ordering them to vandalize buildings, shops, and billboards. One night, Tyler and the man smash cars on the street, and the man realizes Fight Club is no longer a small movement. It's a nationwide phenomenon. Later, Tyler drags a man into a convenience store, where they corner the clerk, Raymond. Tyler asks Raymond what he wanted to be before working there. Raymond nervously admits he once dreamed of becoming a veterinarian, but never finished school. Tyler threatens him, saying that if Raymond doesn't start working toward his goal within 6 months, he'll be killed. As they walk away, the man is both horrified and impressed by Tyler's twisted way of motivating people. After Raymond runs away, Tyler tells the man that the next morning, Raymond will wake up with a newfound appreciation for life. A few days later, the man notices that Tyler has installed bunk beds in their basement. He then discovers that Tyler has started recruiting people for a secret boot camp. Applicants are required to wait outside the house for 3 days without food or shelter before being allowed in. Soon, a crowd forms outside, including some familiar faces. Once inside, the recruits are put to work with grueling manual labor while Tyler lectures them about the evils of consumerism. The man is stunned, wondering why Tyler is assembling an army. Later, he is shocked to learn that some recruits have set fire to multiple apartments in the city. The incident catches the attention of the police commissioner, who suspects a link to the underground Fight Club. When the man confronts the recruits about the arson, they explain that it's part of Project Mayhem, but refuse to answer further questions, citing the project's rules. In the next phase, the group infiltrates a high-profile event as waiters. When the commissioner goes to the bathroom, the waiters follow and attack him. Tyler threatens to castrate him unless he calls off the investigation into Fight Club. Tyler also warns that the same people responsible for the crimes of the one society depends on to cook their food, drive their cars, and take out their trash. The commissioner agrees, and the group leaves the hotel. The man begins to feel disconnected from Fight Club, as he knows nothing about Project Mayhem's plans. During a fight, he takes out his frustration on a recruit, beating him severely. On the way home, he confronts Tyler, demanding to know why he wasn't involved in the project from the start. Tyler, who is driving recklessly, tells him that Project Mayhem belongs to everyone in Fight Club, not just them. Tyler then lets go of the steering wheel and dares the man to give up control of his life. When the man finally relents, they crash the car into another vehicle. As they crawl out of the wreckage, Tyler declares that they've just had a near-life experience. The next day, the man searches the house for Tyler, but finds he's disappeared. Despite his absence, the recruits continue their work, insisting everything is under control. When Marla visits, she asks to come inside, but upon learning Tyler isn't there, she leaves. Soon after, the recruits rush in, panicked, revealing that one of them has been shot during a mission. They were tasked with destroying a corporate art installation and a franchise coffee bar. But the police arrived and opened fire, killing Bob. Devastated, the man realizes Project Mayhem has gone too far. Determined to stop Tyler, he decides to find him and end the dangerous plan. Using tickets Tyler left behind, the man travels to different cities, visiting bars and businesses linked to Fight Club chapters. At one bar, he hears a tribute to Bob, and the bartender greets him warmly, calling him Tyler Durden. Confused, the man denies being Tyler, but the bartender hesitates, thinking this might be a test. Once convinced it isn't, the bartender insists that the man is Tyler Durden. Staggered by this revelation, the man returns to his hotel room and calls Marla. He asks if they've ever been intimate. Marla confirms they have and refers to him as Tyler. After she hangs up, Tyler appears in the room, expressing disappointment that the man broke his promise not to mention him to Marla. The man confronts Tyler, demanding to know what's going on. Tyler explains that they are the same person. He is simply a manifestation of the man's desire to escape his mundane life and take control. When the man questions Tyler's separate jobs, Tyler explains that the man worked those jobs himself during sleepless nights. Tyler insists that Marla is a threat to their plans because she knows too much. As they argue over Tyler's dangerous schemes, the man grows exhausted and loses consciousness. When he wakes up, he immediately flees a hotel and catches a flight home, desperate to stop Tyler and end Project Mayhem once and for all. When the man returns home, he discovers plans for Project Mayhem targeting several buildings in the city's financial district. Determined to stop it, he tries to warn the management of each location, only to realize the group has already infiltrated them all. Frustrated, he gathers as many documents as he can and leaves. He then meets Marla and convinces her to leave the city for her safety. Marla reluctantly agrees and boards a bus out of town. The man then goes to the police and confesses everything about Project Mayhem. He explains Tyler's plan to bomb key buildings in the financial district to erase credit card debt records. The chief detective listens carefully, but leaves the room to verify some details. As soon as the detective steps out, the three remaining officers praise the man for revealing the plans. But they also inform him that Tyler had ordered anyone interfering with Project Mayhem, including himself, to be castrated. As the officers prepare to carry out the order, the chief detective interrupts, instructing them to head to Tyler's house. In the chaos, the man seizes a gun from one officer and escapes the station. He rushes to one of the targeted buildings to locate and disarm the bomb. In the underground parking lot, he finds the bomb and tries to defuse it, reasoning that if Tyler knows how to arm it, he must too. He successfully disables the bomb, but Tyler appears and begins beating him. Surveillance footage reveals the shocking truth. The man is fighting himself. Tyler is just a figment of his imagination. Tyler overpowers him and throws him down a flight of stairs, knocking him unconscious. When the man wakes up, he finds himself tied to a chair in a room with Tyler, who is pointing a gun at his face. The man pleads with Tyler to abandon the plan, but Tyler insists that the project must go on to free people from consumerism. He assures the man that no one will die in the explosions, as the buildings are empty. Suddenly, the man realizes the gun isn't in Tyler's hand. It's in his own. Accepting the truth, he turns the gun on himself, placing it in his mouth. He pulls the trigger, and the bullet grazes his cheek near the ear. Tyler, who now has a massive wound at the back of his head, collapses and disappears, symbolizing that the man has regained control over himself. Shortly afterward, members of Project Mayhem arrive, bringing Marla with them. The man orders the group to leave them alone and wait downstairs. As they leave, Marla begins to scold him for the chaos he's caused, but is shocked to see the wound on his face. The man reassures her, saying everything will be fine. At that moment, the bombs begin to detonate, and buildings across the financial district collapse. As the destruction unfolds, the man holds Marla's hand. He turns to her and, with a strange sense of peace, says, "You met me at a very strange time in my life." Subscribe for more videos. Turn on notifications and leave a like to support the channel. Thank you for watching.